Good afternoon, everybody. It's like Christmas over here at Sisu. Lots of new updates. Many of these have been very highly anticipated by a lot of you and highly requested by a lot of our user base. So I'm happy to present them to you. Let's take a look. First thing you'll notice on my dashboard is that my closed units are at 8.9. So we're now allowing a lot of flexibility in the way that you split off your transactions and split the paid income and allocate, $100 to a showing assistant or $100 to a sales manager who is managing that transaction or helping and coaching the agents on that transaction. So if you click through here, you'll see I'm looking at my personal dashboard and I'm looking at the personal deals that I've closed. You'll see that this is a deal, for example, where I got 30% credit for the deal. I made 4,000 after splits, and then you're seeing over here in the agent paid income, this 13,000 is how much income was paid to all of the agents involved in the transaction. So I can see this split transaction in my transactions, as well as having the income allocated in different ways. So if I come into here, this is an admin feature where the admin can come in and do splits. You also notice if you hit edit on the left-hand side, you'll see the splits interface here. So you can come in and manage the way that this income is being allocated on the deal. So in this case, the primary agent is BC. The GCI is 15,000. So that's the total commission earned from the deal. This team income is being calculated. It's the difference between the paid income. So paid income is what's being paid to the agents, and team income is what remains. So you can see there's a very small split to the team on this transaction, and 13,000 going to the rest of the agents or the agents on the team. And then you can see that the primary agent, so this primary agent right here, BC, is getting paid 9,200, and there's 3 different splits on this deal. So we have an agent who got 30% of the deal. So 30% meaning I show up as 0.3 of a transaction on my dashboard. This shows up as 0.3 closed deals on Zach Muir's dashboard, and paid income of 4,000. Now, Rick Newton is an ISA, so maybe they set this appointment. You've specified that here, the percent, so the credit that they're getting for that is 0. It doesn't show up on their dashboard, and they're getting $100 showed as paid income in their metrics. And then we have another one, Trevor Edstrom. He's a showing assistant. He's not getting credit for the deal either, and he's showing 200 paid income on his dashboard. So you can just kind of walk through this and say, I want to add one more agent in here. I want to add in Frank, and I want this to be a referral or showing assistant or an agent, however you want to specify it. I want them to get 20% for the deal, and I want them to show 2,000 in paid income. And notice how these fields dynamically update to recognize that. So before, this primary agent was 9,200. Now that I put this 2,000 in, it's showing me 7,200. So these numbers are kind of just calculations for you to see, this is what the primary agent is making, this is what the team is making as far as commissions, and this is the agents on that team split, or what is being paid out to the agents, ISAs, anyone on the team, basically. So really cool update there. That'll give you a lot of flexibility as far as just managing those different commission payouts and tracking them. Along those lines, hopefully most of you know this, but if you want to get some reports as far as team income and what is the team making after they pay out all of the agents, this team income report here is a really good one. So you're seeing this is the volume, the GCI, this is what the agents are making, and this is what the team's split is at. So GCI, agents got paid 1.09 million. The team made 893,000. Cool. So that's been a really highly anticipated update. Another thing that's really nice that we're working on, many of you probably saw this in a blog post that we put out. We have some really nice, really thorough lead tracking. So if you're buying leads, any type of leads, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're tracking those in here. You want to make sure that your spend on those different lead sources is paying you a good ROI, and maybe identify other areas where you could be potentially getting a better return on your ad spend. So the way that this works, I'll show you. If you come into your lead sources, so admin lead sources, you'll notice that each of your lead sources, you can add new ones if you need to, but you can go ahead and register expenses to them. So if I come into my Facebook leads, this is one of the ones I want to be tracking. I can register both the expense and the number of leads that I got for each month. So that's something, maybe you're buying realtor.com leads and you're buying Zillow leads and you get leads through your CRM. You want to make sure that every month you come in here and update these numbers so that when you come back into your lead source report, that's all you have to do. All you have to do is enter these in. Now you're getting certain things such as what's your ROI on your Facebook leads? What's your cost per lead? What's your cost per closing? What's your conversion rate? It's going to graph it out really nicely here for you. You'll see the percentage of closed transactions by lead source. So that's graphing it out and showing you where your deals are coming from, and then showing you that return. So you can see I have a really high return on my Instagram leads here, but not a very good return on my realtor.com leads. So really important to be tracking those paid lead sources. And if you check out our blog, we have a really good blog post on some of these metrics. So another big thing of tracking in Sisu is being able to show and even deliver a report to your vendors to prove the value that you're providing them and possibly demand more money out of your relationship or build a better relationship there because you're able to prove how beneficial it is to them. So come into your vendor report. You can go ahead and select the type of vendor. So right now I have mortgage set. I'm looking at it for my whole team, and I'm looking at it over this date range. So now I'm seeing, okay, over this date range, we've sent 4 deals to different mortgage companies. This is how many units, this is the percent, the volume, and the volume percentage. So this would be a great thing. I could go ahead and just, snapshot this and show my vendors how well we're doing as far as just sending them a lot of units in volume. I can use it to gamify and account and hold my agents accountable to using those preferred vendors. Another way I could get at this data is if I come into admin transactions, I could go ahead and throw some filters on and say, show me everything that's closed in 2019 that we did with BC Title Company. And now I'm seeing we've done 6 deals for this much volume. This would be a really great thing. I could download it into an Excel sheet here and send it out to that vendor and, kind of stimulate that relationship. I could screenshot it and send it over. It looked really nice and graphical for them, and they'll enjoy that. So these are great ways, and these are great things to be tracking so that you can get more money from leads, more money for leads, from your partners, and be able to prove the value of that relationship. Another just quick thing you'll notice here is we added in a bunch of new filters. So you can filter by first time appointment set and met. If you want to pull up your active listings, just go ahead and throw that on. And I got to remove the BC Title thing. And now I'm seeing, here's my active listings, right? So some really good ways to filter that data can always be found over here, in addition to the reports that I just showed you. As far as other updates, one thing you'll want to make sure, there's a couple new updates as far as the notifications go. So a couple new events in here to allow you. So if you haven't gone in and set up these notifications, this is a really good way to get engagement with the platform. So you'll notice that I have a bunch of different notification events here, and that's what I'm creating here. I'm saying I want to create notifications. This is a new one. I want to send timed messages, and I want it to say enter numbers before team meeting, and it's going to be on, and it's going to say don't forget to enter your numbers. That will show up as the subject line and the subject line of the push message. So there's an email and a push notification that you can do. That will be the title. I can type in a message here. No numbers equals no leads. And I'm going to make this weekly. It's going to send on Tuesdays. It's going to send on the day of the event. And I'm going to have it send at 10 o'clock at night, every night. So this is going to send out at, I guess now I'm doing, 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock the night before my team meeting, this is going to go out. It's going to send them both an email, and it's going to send them a push notification. So I can just go ahead and add this in. And then when I go to my delivery settings, I can say, okay, I want all team members to get this this new, where is it? This new event that I said. I want it to be push notification and an email. So you're really going to make sure you dial those in. You can base these on closings. You can base them on If somebody puts something under contract, every time these notifications go out, it's a way to bring your team back into the app, back into the numbers, back into what drives their business. And it's just another angle that you're playing to hold your team accountable. So definitely get out there. There's a couple other little things that I haven't shown you, so you want to come in and definitely play around in these reports. One thing I really do want to show, so glad I didn't forget that. In the team, so activity and production, you can get a little more flexible as far as the numbers that you're pulling in here. So for example, on the dashboards, you're seeing a monthly or yearly snapshot, and it's just professionally designed that way. It looks really good that way. But if you wanted to come into these reports and run this over, for example, a quarter, and you want to see how well your agents are doing over a quarter, or you can do new conversion ratios here. So you can say, show me dials to contacts. I want to calculate that ratio, dials to contacts over this time range. And it's going to pull that ratio as well as all the other numbers that are in here. So some really cool things when you're hopping in your one-on-ones, or you really want to break these numbers down a little more. Pop in here, play around with it, dig deeper into the data, and you'll have more insights to run your business. Cool. Well, hopefully that's been really helpful. Go ahead and reach out to the Sisu team if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help. Okay.